Hey guys, it's Cassie, and this week I'm obsessed with redeeming movie magic. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am starting to get so annoyed with movies nowadays, especially Disney. Do you remember when we could watch movies for fun instead of watching a social justice movie masked as a comedy? Yeah, I remember those days too. When Jurassic Park was really about dinosaurs, and the Titanic was really just a romantic tragedy, and Snow White was just this pure girl in love. Yeah, I'm getting to you, Rachel. Well, gone are those days. And why? I'd like to thank our friend, woke feminism. Now, before you get all sassy, hear me out. I'm a girl's girl. I'm a feminist. I'm all about girl bosses, women getting that coin, and girls living their best life. What I am not about is extremism and reverse sexism, which is going to be my definition of woke feminism. So I don't know what your definition is. That's my definition: extremism and reverse sexism. Let me show you this on my handy dandy pendulum. The far left side is women hating, toxic masculinity. I want my woman barefoot in the kitchen. And all women are damsels in distress. Oh, and women don't play sports. The far right side, all men are evil. F the patriarchy. I don't need no man. And did I mention all men are evil and deserve to see how it feels to be oppressed like we were for so long? This is woke feminism to me. And this is treating women like trash to me. Now, what I want to see, in my humble opinion, is a happy medium. You know, where men and women are represented fairly and equally. Both can be stay-at-home parents if they wanted. Both could be bosses at a big company. Both have equal rights and respect. Men can cook and clean all they want in the house. Nobody should be able to bat an eye and say that's a woman's job. Women should be able to be the breadwinner of the family, and nobody should be looking down on the man or the woman for that. Women should have fair advantages in the workplace. So should men. Can you imagine a world like that? That's what I want. That's what I want in the world. But I feel like we are veering more towards the woke feminism side of the pendulum, especially in our entertainment. And I'm not really okay with that. And I'm honestly really tired of seeing that in movies. 'Cause I'm all down for equality for all people. And guys, I am so tired of the same trope. I am so tired of it. The girl boss, I don't need saving trope. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. It's boring. It has been done to death. From Cheetah Girls, I don't want to be like Cinderella sitting in a dark, cold, dusty cellar waiting for somebody to come and set me free. Which is good, that's great. That was like the start in Disney. And then Disney added Moana, who's a princess who doesn't have a love interest, which honestly, I think that's great. That's a good change. It wasn't in your face. Moana wasn't a man-hater. She just clearly had bigger fish to fry, and that just wasn't a part of her personality. And that's great. That's good. Show that. But did you see how they did it in like a normal way where it just, that's really just how Moana is, instead of being like, I don't care about love or relationships because I care about leading the tribe and saving my people. I don't have time for no man. And I'm glad they didn't do that with Moana, because one feels natural and the other feels just like a bratty dig at men or people who are going to be in relationships or people who want love. Like, why are you being such a hater? And yes, it is important to emphasize that you don't need a person. Your whole personality or worth shouldn't be found in a person or in a relationship. But there is nothing wrong with needing somebody sometimes, or wanting a relationship or love someday. Then Marvel, aka Disney, added Captain Marvel. And this is when I really think that things were starting to go downhill. The problem isn't that Captain Marvel was a superhero and a female, because everybody loved Black Widow. May she rest in peace. But did you notice that most people didn't care for Captain Marvel? It's because the purpose of that movie, and you can just kind of feel it, was Disney being able to say, look, women can be superheroes too, in your face. And that just doesn't make it feel fun. And it's almost like they use that, the whole women can be superheroes, as their excuse for sloppy character development. Instead of adding some cooler, likable story to Captain Marvel, or having her introduced in a previous movie like what they did with Wanda, who most people love, Captain Marvel wasn't even funny. Like, they lost their magic in it. Look at Wanda. Who nags on Wanda, really? And she's got powers, and she can arguably kick most of the guy superheroes' butts. But Wanda respected men. It wasn't in your face to be like, I can be a female superhero, look at me. No, she just had powers. She was an OG Marvel character, so it's not like they made somebody new up. She found love. She wasn't a man-hater, and the main point of her character was not to be a social justice warrior. And thinking that for some reason, her being a social justice warrior makes up for her lack of personality or creativity. And there's been a lot of movies like that lately. Do you guys remember during COVID, there was like this one New Year's Eve that happened? And I watch the ball drop every year. And during the ball drop, it's always typically super fun. We talk about fun things in the year. We talk about, there's always jokes. But this ball drop service, or whatever you want to call it, was all about COVID. Everything was like, be safe, wear your masks, what's your COVID story? I was hoping to get some pick-me-up, some distraction because I was in lockdown in Canada like a lot of other people were. But instead, the ball drop was all about COVID. So it wasn't even a distraction anymore. It wasn't even fun. It was honestly kind of depressing. And to me, they would have been better off canceling it than having such like a gloomy feeling New Year's Eve party. And to me, that's the same sentiment for these feminist movies. We can tell when you're just trying to make it a feminist trope. Like, even as a woman, that doesn't make me feel more empowered. That actually makes me think about problems in the world I don't really want to be thinking about when I'm watching a movie. That doesn't make me at the end of it be like, yeah, I'm a woman. I can overcome all these hardships that you're listing in these movies. Like, no, that just kind of makes me feel like, well, that's awkward. I was actually having a great day. I didn't have any feminist comments made towards me today, but, now I got to think about how there's women out there in the business world who are being treated like garbage. Like, it's just, what? I am watching the movie for fun. If I wanted politics, I would go to the news. I was so excited about the Barbie movie. I was a Barbie girl growing up. I loved Barbie. And I thought this movie was going to be super fun and super cute and super lighthearted. And everybody was dressing up in pink and there was so much hype about it. I am telling you, I will never watch that movie again. And it's sad because they did so many cool dance moves. They made it so cute and fun looking. The aesthetic was on point. The actors did great. But to me, it was too much of a serious undertone. Like, at the end of the movie, it was basically just Barbie going to the gynecologist and becoming a real person and being like, finally, I'm ditching Ken. He's so annoying. Like, I get it. Once again, romantic relationships are not all that matters. You can be a girl boss and you don't need no man. Yes, I know. But I feel like even in the comedic moments, like, they just kept sneaking in that message, oversaturated. I get it. I'm not even saying the message was wrong. I'm saying the delivery was such a buzzkill after all the hype that was made about the movie. And then that leads us to Rachel Zegler. If you don't know who she is, she was in West Side Story. She was also in Shazam. She's been in I think that's really it. I don't really know what else she's in. But now she's going to be Disney's Snow White. Look at these clips of her.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is...
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. I am.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's one of those things.
So true,
it's
yeah.
an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people along the way that make the journey really incredible.
First of all, she seems very ungrateful. And second of all, everybody's starting to get tired of this trope. Like, what is really wrong with the original Snow White? What is wrong with it? What is wrong with a guy saving a girl he really cares about and seems interested in? Isn't that a beige flag? Shouldn't you be excited some guy that you met is, like, seeming really interested in you and went to go looking for you when he thought there was something wrong? It's the same with the other Disney movies. Shouldn't we value the fact that some man risked his life to save you? I'm telling you right now, as a child, I knew I could kick butt and slay a dragon. I knew that. But also, I dreamt of one day there being a guy who would love me enough to risk his life and slay a dragon for me. And that I would do the same for him because we loved each other that much. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it all depends on how your parents talk to you about these movies afterwards. Because yes, you could take it as, oh, women are always the ones getting saved.
Why keep on assuming men will save the day? I can be the hero and do it my own way.
Or you could take it as an opportunity to share with your children, you know, one day, I hope somebody loves you as much as the prince loves Ariel and Ariel loves the prince and whatever. Like, that's real love. People honestly need to stop acting like it's bad for somebody to save you. Like the way Rachel acted, the prince is not going to be saving her. She doesn't need saving. Like women nowadays getting mad when a man opens a door for her. Like, stop thinking so highly of yourself. I see men all the time open doors for my husband. Opening doors for older people just to be respectful. They're not saying you can't open the door. So can we please stop shaming the classics for once? Like, it's getting kind of annoying. They were about love, bravery, and sacrifice. They had good values and undertones, all while being lighthearted. Our modern movies can learn from that. Like, yes, you can show, like in Moana, that, you know, sometimes you might not find love, or you might not be looking for that because you're busy saving the world, and you don't even have to think about it. That's a natural thing to show. But Barbie movie and all this other stuff, like, just too much. The new Snow White, that's too much. You're changing the classics for what? Because you're trying to make a point that has already been made to death. You're not the first. You're not the last. Get creative. In all these movies, people are really acting as though they are making a big difference by sharing the same problem over and over and over again. Well, if the problem is still in existence, maybe you should spend your efforts trying to find a different strategy to fix the problem, because clearly it's not working if you're still going on about it. Just go try something different. Go try something different. How about just make women seem normal? Make movies about men, make movies about women. Give them both good character arcs. Treat them both as equals. Stop making such a big deal about, oh my gosh, we are making a woman superhero. Oh my gosh, women don't need men. And stop using female characters over and over again to market your social justice problems. Just leave our movies alone. How about instead try making the movies entertaining again? Do better. Love you, bye.